Hello viewer. So today's job is to do a little bit of maintenance on my Monoprice Mini. Gets rid of some dust. That's easy. So what I do is I'll clean off the old grease or old oil. And just clean the rails. Now I use just 3-in-1 multi-purpose oil, just a general purpose one. If you come from my area, your mum probably used on the Singer sewing machine. You may even have an old can of it in the garage. So you don't want too much. I wouldn't normally use my finger, but I've just actually wipe my fingers with isopropyl just to remove any body grease. So just putting that on the rails here, and just move backwards and forwards a few times, and that's those ones done. Now I'll just tilt this up and clean the rails for the bed, and again just run it across a few times and around the back. Bit of fluff still there. Put some more grease on there, just to stop those little bearings wearing out prematurely. I've done a lot of printing on this machine, probably up to now around 350 hours worth. So it's done a fair bit of work, and still runs really well. So what I'm going to do now is move the Z-axis up. So this takes a little while. So inside this body, which I'm not going to take apart today, I'll take it apart every now and then to get in there better. But there's 3 bearings and there's 3 rods. So I'm just going to move this up so I can get a little bit of access in there. So I don't know if you can see in there too well. So you got the one rod right at the back there, but there's another rod there, and then there's another one tucked in behind. So what I'm going to do here is I just put a little bit of the oil into a screwdriver and then just touch it against the rod to transfer the oil into the machine. So I'll do that there. So you don't need a lot. In fact, you don't want a lot. You know, you don't want oil pooling at the bottom or being splashed up everywhere. Otherwise it'll start to cause issue with your prints. So now that I've done that oil, I'm just going to move it up and down a little bit. So moving up is a bit of a time consuming task. Moving down, a whole lot easier. So to move down, I just have to press the home axis. And away she goes. She just moves herself down quite nicely. So what I'm going to do now is just check the bed leveling. So what I use for that is just basically a scrap of paper, and I'll position that right there, because what I want to do is basically have about a scrap of paper's worth of distance between the bottom of the head and the bed, just for getting a good print result. This is one of the more pain in the ass parts of 3D printing, so that's actually pretty tight there. Yeah, so that's too tight. So what I'll do is I'll just do an initial adjust down. Okay. Just got to move it up a bit because I think it's actually got caught on the paper. There we go. Yeah, it did. So I'll rehome it again. So you can see I'm actually, there we go, no. Bit of movement there. Yeah. Movement there. And a bit of movement there. So that actually looks a bit better now. Don't want it too loose. If it's too loose, then what will happen is your print won't actually stick to the bed, and you will get partway through your printing and it can become detached. Which is obviously bad news, because then your printer will just keep on printing because it doesn't know that it's become detached. On some printers, like the other printer I've got, you can get auto leveling. I don't have that. It's all leveled manually. But once you've got it leveled, you don't generally need to play around with it a few times too much. What I did find with this printer though is, you know, so the bed doesn't necessarily stay even, and what I found is, I had a bow, like a bow this way, that's exaggerated by the way, and a bow that way, which meant that if I leveled it to the ends, then it would be too far away in the middle. So I did pull the bed off and straighten it out. In doing that, I actually separated the thermo measure, thermocouple. So I have to solder a new one in. So if you're thinking about doing that, just be careful. You'll probably have to solder in a new thermocouple. Luckily I had one on hand that was right. You may not have that. So that's basically it, just a little bit of maintenance there, some 3-in-1 oil. She's good for another week or two. So I do that every week or two, depending on how much I print. Just keeps it running nicely. Thank you for watching.